Hi, this is Shannon, and I will be reading you selections from the Sandwich Enterprise, dated June 13th, 2025. Our first headline is Parent Speaks on Concealed Carry Incident on School Grounds by Taylor Frizzetti. An issue regarding a parent carrying a concealed weapon on school grounds was discussed during public comment section of the school committee meeting held on Wednesday. Gianna K. Spinoza said that on February 6, for approximately 3 to 5 minutes, she carried a legally registered gun on the Forestdale School grounds. She said that she is a licensed gun owner, and the weapon was on her person as she went to the school's entrance and back to her vehicle. My weapon was holstered, concealed, and the safety was on during those 3 to 5 minutes, she said. I understand, although all gun safety steps were taken, during those 3 to 5 minutes, I was violating the Massachusetts law, and I will be navigating that through legal avenues. She said that she spoke during public comment to apologize to those who were fearful of the firearm, and explained that she had in no way would have intentionally violated the law or trust of her peers. Spinoza further explained the context around her carrying a concealed weapon, being that for the past 2 years she said that she has been stalked, sexually harassed, and sexually assaulted, and that she carries to protect herself, her children, and anyone in the face of danger. Normally, I do safely secure my firearm more than 1,000 feet away from the school, she said. As the state law states, it's 1,000 feet away from a school, but the end of the Forestdale driveway is more than 1,000 feet away, and if I am in a school zone, I do immediately lock it up. She says that she understands that what she did was wrong and that as a result she is no longer allowed on school grounds. She said that she was told that afternoon that she would not be allowed to attend the 6th grade breakfast at Oak Ridge School with her daughter, and she asked the committee to allow her to attend. I just want to ask that I would be able to be present in my child's life, she said. The school committee did not specifically address Spinoza's comments and request during the session. Next headline is Dining Reopened at Daniel Webster Inn by Taylor Frizzetti. Folks who have been missing the beloved bar and pot pies at the Daniel Webster Inn are in luck. The inn held a ribbon-cutting ceremony to celebrate the reopening of the dining room and kitchen on Tuesday. Almost a year ago to the date of the ribbon cutting, a fire broke out in the kitchen area of the inn last June, leaving smoke damage. Although there were hopes that the dining room would be open in the fall, and later on there were plans to reopen by March, the team experienced a number of setbacks that led to the delayed opening. Ashok Patel, Vice President of Jamson Hotel Management, the management company for the inn, said that it was difficult to implement up-to-code systems and fixtures in the older space. He said that they had to replace some of the piping for the sprinkler system, the fire alarm equipment, and electrical wiring. Patel said there were also a few delays when it came to ordering parts for the repairs, and the delays also caused issues with retaining personnel. He said that the majority of the former staff has returned and the kitchen has been updated from soup to nuts. I just want people to come in and start spending money and make the place successful again, he said. Our supporters have been patient and waiting, so I am just happy that we can bring them all back full speed. Although the menu is currently limited, Regional Manager Rob Lowen said key staples, such as pot pie, will be available for guests to enjoy. The menu will eventually be updated to include new local flavorings. Lowen said that he felt relieved that dining operations are open again. We did what we could to support employees for as long as we could, he said. This property is the fabric of the community here, so we know what this place means to the community. Lowen and Patel stood in front of the sign outside the iconic inn alongside employees during the ribbon-cutting ceremony. Our next headline is Closure of AmeriCorps programs halted after preliminary injunction secured by Taylor Frizzetti. State Attorney General Andrea Joy Campbell has secured a preliminary injunction aimed at restoring AmeriCorps grants and programs in the 24 states and the District of Columbia included in a lawsuit challenging the Trump administration's termination of grants on June 5th. On April 29th, Campbell joined a coalition to challenge the loss of grants and the termination of 85% of AmeriCorps workforce. AmeriCorps is the epitome of service and civic engagement, offering more than 1,100 Massachusetts residents meaningful opportunities to serve in various fields, including public health, education, disaster relief, and more, said Campbell in an April 29th press release. I am proud to join my colleagues in pushing back on the Trump administration's unlawful efforts to dismantle this service program. On May 12th, GovAct, a nonprofit, nonpartisan group that helps governors work across state lines, filed an amicus brief on behalf of 33 governors supporting the coalition's efforts in securing a preliminary injunction, including former Governor Bill Weld. The amicus brief, or legal document submitted by a third party, states that, on a national scale, AmeriCorps works with all 50 states to offer a wide variety of programming that supplements, but does not duplicate, state resources. This means that AmeriCorps, by design, offers services that would otherwise be unavailable, which will be unavailable should AmeriCorps be dismantled. In a GovAct press release, GovAct founder and CEO Julia Spiegel stated that former governors have a unique and trusted perspective. They have personally sat in the intersection of policy and people, where national decisions become local realities. We believe it's critical to lift up the collective voices of governors who have directly managed programs like AmeriCorps because their leadership and experiences are essential in shaping solutions that work for communities. Their united message in this brief is clear. AmeriCorps is not expendable, it's indispensable, she wrote. Last month, 7 AmeriCorps volunteers assigned to Camp Linden were told to cease work and head back to Washington, D.C. Stacy Poe, CEO of YMCA Cape Cod, said that she did not hear anything about the volunteers returning to Camp Linden. AmeriCorps Cape Cod was also at risk in May, however. The Barnstable County Board of Regional Commissioners voted to fully fund the program through the remainder of the service year. Representatives of AmeriCorps Cape Cod did not respond to a request for comment before press time. The next headline is State to Lose Access to 21 Databases. Sandwich Public Library Impacted, by Amy Rothman. More than 20 databases at the Sandwich Public Library will soon be removed, leaving only 6 to be accessible by library patrons. At the Sandwich Public Library Board of Trustees meeting on Tuesday night, Library Director Diane Castigliola reported that the decision to remove 21 databases from the library comes from the Massachusetts Board of Library Commissioners, following a cut in federal funding. Notable losses will include Peterson's Test Prep and Peterson's Career Prep, and the Boston Globe Articles Archive. Previous reporting from the Enterprise notes that in March, President Donald J. Trump issued an executive order gutting the Institute of Museum and Library Services, a federal agency that delivers grants via state library systems. That order, which put all 75 employees of the agency on temporary leave, also put into question the more than $160 million in annual grants dispersed to local libraries and museums. On March 14, 2025, President Trump signed Executive Order 14238, eliminating the Institute of Museum and Library Services to the maximum extent consistent with applicable law. IMLS is the single largest source of critical federal funding for libraries. Although IMLS grants to states program for fiscal year 2025 through IMLS grants to states program for fiscal year 2025, the Massachusetts Board of Library Commissioners was allocated $3.6 million to support statewide library services and grants to local libraries. In the weeks that followed the executive order, IMLS staff were placed on administrative leave, and in the President's fiscal year 2026 budget, IMLS is eliminated. the MBLC wrote in a press release dated May 20th. Following the decision, Castiglione said that the Massachusetts Board of Library Commissioners has decided that they will need to reduce the number of database subscriptions provided to the state, given their cut in funding related to IMLS. The decision was initially announced at the annual Massachusetts Library Association conference. The federal impact cannot be overstated. In Massachusetts, over 1,600 school, public, academic, and special libraries from across the state benefit from federal IMLS funding. Millions of people rely on federally funded library services, MBLC Director Maureen Amyot said at the conference. Part of the response plan to the IMLS cuts includes unsubscribing from statewide databases. Developing a plan for services in an environment of almost daily federal change has been challenging, but our goal has remained constant: to maintain services that are integral to the functioning of our system and heavily relied on by the people of the Commonwealth, Amyot continued. On July 1st, the changes will go into effect across the state. Starting on July 1st, statewide research database offerings will be significantly reduced. However, the MBLC and the Massachusetts Library System, which jointly fund databases, will maintain several of those most heavily used. The MBLC spends close to $2.2 million of its federal allocation to fund statewide research databases, an amount that cannot be made up in state funding. For instance, representatives of the MBLC reported that, for fiscal year 2026, the ebook content grant to networks from MBLC's state line 9506 will likely be funded at $500,000, which will allow for $500,000 funding in that line to go towards databases. MLS will increase its support for databases by $18,575 to a total of $575,000. Overall, combined database funding from MBLC and MLS will go from $2.8 million to $1.17 million. At the meeting on Tuesday, June 10th, Castiglione noted that as many as 9 million full texts were downloaded using state databases in Massachusetts, representing a 12% increase from the year before. The MBLC reports that 60% of the database usage comes from schools. Given the high usage of the databases by students, the MBLC opted to focus on keeping academic-focused databases that are frequently used by the schools. The following 6 database programs will be maintained by the MBLC, allowing public libraries in the state to maintain access to them: Britannica Escolar, Britannica Library, Britannica School, Gale Academic One File plus One File Collections, Gale in Context, Opposing Viewpoints, and Pebble Go. These database losses, Castiglione said, could potentially be disappointing for library patrons to see. However, she noted that she was grateful that the library currently subscribes to subscriptions such as Mango Languages outside of the subscriptions provided by the state. Transparent Language Online, an online tool that can be used to learn new languages, is one of the databases that will no longer be provided to the state. Despite the losses, she said that our database uses are minimal enough that I am not going to subscribe to any of them for just the Sandwich Public Library, which would be very expensive. In light of the cuts, representatives of the MBLC show resistance to the changes. The president has determined that the Institute of Museum and Library Services is unnecessary, but we know the opposite to be true. We know that welcoming all, including diverse voices in our collections, and providing free and equitable access to library services make public libraries the cornerstone of a free, democratic society, said Amyot. Libraries change people's lives. That's why these reductions in critical library services hurt. But we're in this for the long game, and in the year ahead, we'll continue to work with local, state, and federal partners to stabilize library funding and services. And our next article is Sandwich Born Students Nominated for Musical Theater Awards by Taylor Frusetti. Sandwich and Bourne students were recognized for their talents during the Massachusetts Educational Theater Guild Musical Theater Awards ceremony held on Monday. The Musical Theater Guild provides students and teachers with opportunities to create and share theatrical experiences. More than 50 schools from across the state participate in the Musical Theater Awards. Professional judges attend school shows and rank performances on a number of categories, including choreography, technical execution, and individual performance. Although the Knights Theater Company did not take home any trophies, Sandwich students were nominated for a number of categories for their Hadestown performance. The categories include Best Sound Design and Best Costume Design. William Lodge was nominated for Best Performance in a Male Leading Role for his performance as Orpheus, and Marty Mulroy was nominated for Best Performance in a Male Supporting Role for his performance as Hermes. Both William and Marty participated in the performance by singing melodies. Marty also sang an additional melody due to being a finalist in the Jimmy Awards. It was such an exciting night and event. We all felt so special, like a mini Tony Awards show, said Knights Theater Company director Kevin Lassett. Lassett added that Broadway and television actor Max Clayton was the master of ceremonies for the event and had gone from attending the Tony Awards the night prior to celebrating Massachusetts high school theater. High school theater is where all the dreams start. Music director Melinda Lassett. And I couldn't be more proud of our entire drama club, which includes all our amazing parents and the fantastic band. What a great way to wrap up our 2024-2025 season, Lassett said. Bourne Middle School was nominated for a number of categories for the musical Frozen Jr. They took home the award for Best Choreography for the play. This is a tremendous honor, especially considering that Bourne is the smallest K-12 district in the state to receive a nomination. To be recognized among such talented and competitive field speaks volumes about the dedication and heart of our students and the caliber of our creative team, said Bourne Middle School Drama Club Director Rebecca Salgado. May Mark, Angie Cavanvin, Laurel Dodds, Savannah Ramiza, Layla McInerney, Anna Kirby, Alyssa Potter, Rita Kelly, Lily Kelsch, and Zoe Curran were nominated for Best Specialty Ensemble for their performance as Oaken's Family. Penny Chabrales was nominated for Best Leading Performer for her role as Anna. Brady Russell was nominated for his role as Kristoff, and Alex Weston was nominated for his performance as Sven. Salgado said that both Penny and Brady were selected to join other top nominees in a performance during the ceremony. It was an unforgettable honor and experience for them both, she said. Bourne High School was also nominated for Best Scenic Design for the SpongeBob musical, but did not take home any awards. Our next article is Library Adds Collection of Student Published Books. Circulation Assistant Hired by Amy Rothman. A handful of books written by fifth graders in the Sandwich Public School District have been published and added to the collection at the Sandwich Public Library. At the Sandwich Public Library Board of Trustees meeting on Tuesday, Library Director Diane Castigliola presented the new book collection. Trustees flipped through the vibrant pages as she discussed the process that went into the creation of the books. Today we had a field trip of fifth graders, Castigliola said, explaining that the fifth graders traveled back to the library on Tuesday morning to see their creations. Prior to the field trip, the students wrote their own books and created artwork for the pages. Many students drew their own works, while others opted to create digital artwork using computers. Coming back to the library on June 10th, the class of fifth graders autographed the works and put barcode stickers and local author stickers on the book, which will be processed and added to the library's collection. This was very exciting that this all worked, and we are all happy that the books arrived and they will be part of our collection, which I think is pretty sweet, Castigliola added. New titles include works such as Jack's Big Adventure, written and illustrated by 5th grader Ronan Willett. New addition to staff. Castigliola also noted that next Tuesday that a new circulation assistant will be joining the team. Although her name has not been released, Castigliola said that she will provide the trustees with more information about the new hire at the following Board of Trustees meeting on July 8th. The new addition of the circulation assistant will put the library in a fully staffed position, with 13 full-time employees and 2 part-time employees. We are all very excited to be fully staffed again, Castigliola concluded. Our next article is Sandwich Foundation hosts Flamingle by Taylor Fruzetti. Guests flamingled during the Sandwich Foundation's annual fundraiser held on May 30th at the Ridge Club. The Sandwich Foundation is a nonprofit group consisting of local moms dedicated to bringing more fun to Sandwich in the form of playgrounds, programs, and services for kids and teens. The group has advertised for the annual fundraiser in the past by flocking the town with plastic pink flamingos, hence the name Flamingle. Attendees arrived in coastal attire, including florals, bright colors, and of course, flamingo pink, ready to participate in a silent auction with enticing prizes such as a ride to school, in a police cruiser, Bruins tickets, and merch and more. Although the total amount of the money raised by the event was still being counted during press time, Foundation member Jennifer Sperling said that the group hoped to reach their goal of $20,000 to devote to the grant program this summer. Last year, a grant allowed yoga teacher Brittany Burbank, Miss Britt, to hold free classes every Monday night through the Sandwich Partnership for Families. Businesses now have a safe place, a nonprofit that they know if they support the Flamingo, and it goes directly to the kids, and it happens pretty immediately, she said. A grant awarded last year also helped fund an upgrade to the playground at Forestdale Church by making it more visible. Visibility is a big part of it because almost nobody outside of our church would use the playground because maybe they didn't know it was there or they weren't sure if it was open to the public, so we wanted to try to make that clear, he said, adding that since the upgrades, more people than ever have been using the playground. Grant applications open again on Tuesday, July 15th, and close on Wednesday, October 15th. Grant winners will be announced during the lighting of the littlest Christmas tree on Sunday, November 30th. Next article is Chrissy Ross Steps Down from Sandwich Chamber of Commerce by Taylor Fruzetti. Christine P. Chrissy Ross has stepped down from her role as the executive director of the Sandwich Chamber of Commerce. Ross took over the role in 2022, bringing her sales and marketing skills to the chamber. She has taken on a new role as a program director for Continuum Hospice in Hyannis. I absolutely have loved my time with the chamber. It's been so fulfilling and rewarding to serve the community in that way. Our small businesses, our nonprofits, everyone involved in the chamber, the board of directors are also wonderful. I really wish them the best going forward, she said. I know that everyone is in great hands. It was just time for me to transition back to healthcare administration, where I can do my most good and serve in a different way. Ross said that she is proud of bringing the chamber to the forefront of the community through events and social media presence. I am extremely proud of the Sandwich Village Stroll. It brings a much-needed holiday celebration to downtown. It brings a lot of people together, as well as just continuing to elevate the hard work that Sandwich Fest has been. It keeps getting better and better, she said. One aspect of the chamber that Ross said she would like to continue to see evolve is providing more opportunities for local business owners to continue to grow, such as habitual workshops. She said that she would like to thank the community for supporting the chamber's events and initiatives. Ross would like to remind the community that they can keep up with events by following the Sandwich Chamber of Commerce and Discover Sandwich Facebook pages. She would also like to remind the communities to support local businesses during the 6A Saturday event held on Saturday, June 14th. Next article is Sandwich Student Completes Major Project at WPI. Adam Hanna of Sandwich was among 707 undergraduate students at Worcester Polytech Institute who recently completed research-driven, professional-level projects that apply science and technology to address an important societal need or issue. Known as the Interactive Qualifying Project, this project is a core part of the innovative undergraduate experience at WPI. Centered around project-based learning, this hands-on approach offers students opportunities to help develop thoughtful solutions to open-ended problems. These real-world problems affect the quality of life for people in the communities where students work, giving students a chance to make a difference in the world before they graduate. Adam, a member of the class of 2026, who is majoring in aerospace engineering, completed a project titled Path to Purpose, a Self-Actualization Game. The next article is Cape Cod Commission Study to Improve Safety on Route 6A by Taylor Fuzzetti. The Cape Cod Commission is coordinating with communities spanning from Bourne to Orleans, as well as the Massachusetts Department of Transportation, MassDOT, to conduct a 2-year study to explore ways to improve safety along the route while maintaining its character. The first public outreach meeting was held on Wednesday, June 11th. Senior Transportation Manager David Nolan said that the group will review public comments and begin alternative screenings in the fall. Nolan said that everything the group is doing as part of this project is done with a sensitivity to the nature of the existing roadway. We are not trying to make Route 6A look like Route 28, he said. As part of the study, the group has been reviewing the existing conditions of the roadway. Nolan pointed out that there is variability in the speed limits along Route 6A. Multiple audience members expressed a need to create less drastic changes in speed limits. Nolan said that as part of the study, the team looked at the rate of speed the drivers traveling in multiple areas along the route. Multiple audience members shared concerns about visibility issues when it comes to bicyclists traveling on Route 6A. When it comes to crash history, 2 sandwich locations along Route 6A had a significant number of crashes. The group found that there were 19 crashes over a 3-year period in the area of Route 130 and Tupper Road, ranking number 21 on Cape Cod by crash rate. The study also found that there were 12 crashes on the area of Route 6A and Quaker Meeting House Road. One commenter who used the public comment tool noted that there have been multiple crashes at the Route 6A intersection of Spring Hill Road and Quaker Meeting House Road. The commenter suggested installing a traffic light in the area to encourage drivers to slow down and make it safer for pedestrians to cross. Come this winter, Nolan said that the group aims to have conceptual alternatives based on the comments, with another public outreach initiative in the spring of 2026. He said that draft and final reports will be presented in fall 2026. Our next article is 2 new members join the planning board by Taylor Fuzzetti. 2 Sandwich residents have joined the planning board. Both of the new members were write-in candidates during the May election. Jack M. Vaccaro. Jack M. Vaccaro is a lifelong resident of Cape Cod. He grew up in Falmouth and he has lived in Sandwich for the past 40 years. He is currently a lead scientist with the Coastal Group at Epsilon Associates, an environmental consulting firm based in Maynard. Vaccaro attended Falmouth High School and he holds a Bachelor's of Science from the University of Massachusetts, Dartmouth. As a former trustee of the Sandwich Conservation Trust, Vaccaro focused on the preservation of open space in town. Regarding his experience related to the duties of the planning board, Vaccaro said that he has extensive knowledge and experience with environmental regulations related to construction near the shore and other environmentally sensitive areas. Vaccaro said that although he came to the board with one issue in mind, being the lack of affordable housing for young people and the elderly, he said that he knows there is a lot more to the job. I'm here to listen, to learn, and to approach the work with care and respect for the voices on both sides of the table, he said. He said that he decided to run a 2-day campaign as a write-in candidate the morning after town meeting. I certainly did not expect to win. That said, I am honored to have been elected and want to thank the voters who supported me. All 15 of them, he said. Now that I'm on board, I am looking forward to helping my fellow board members carry out our responsibilities to the town. Vaccaro said that he approaches this position with a deep interest in environmental issues such as water quality, protection of natural resources, sea level rise, and coastal resiliency. Julie L. Fox. Julie L. Fox is originally from Orleans. Along with her husband, she purchased her home in Sandwich in 2000. Fox is currently the assistant branch manager of the 2 Falmouth branches of the Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod. She is a graduate of Nauset High School and has taken various banking and management classes both in the past and for her current job. When it comes to her expertise related to the duties of the planning board, Fox said, "I am a great listener and very organized. I understand budgeting, prioritizing needs, and the importance of making people feel heard." Fox said that her primary goal as a planning board member is to listen to issues raised and make informed decisions that benefit the town. She said that she decided to run a write-in campaign after her friends suggested that she would be a beneficial addition to the board. "I love our town and value the relationships I have made with many residents, and am happy to have the opportunity to give back in this capacity," she said. Next article is Local Students Receive Scholarships. The Otis Civilian Advisory Council announced the 2025 recipients of its 4 $1,500 scholarships. The recipients are Jacqueline Collins of Falmouth High School, Joseph Gary of the University of Hartford, Ella Kerrigan of Upper Cape Cod Regional Technical School, and Peyton Moffert of Stoughton High School. Jacqueline, daughter of David and Catherine Collins of Falmouth, will be attending either the University of Massachusetts Amherst or Northeastern University in the fall and will major in business and political science. Joseph J., son of Joseph and Michelle Gary of Bourne, plans to continue in his major in robotic engineering at the University of Hartford. Jay has already earned a position on the University of Hartford NASA rocket team, which won a top project certificate in the fall 2024 CETA Design Expo. Ella, daughter of Sean and Ariana Kerrigan of East Falmouth, will be attending Mass Maritime Academy in the fall and will be majoring in emergency management. Peyton, daughter of Daniel Mofford and Christine Balchunas of Stoughton, will be attending the University of Alabama in the fall and majoring in business. These scholarships are open to all military dependents of active duty military personnel in any branch of the service stationed at Joint Base Cape Cod, Woods Hole Coast Guard Station, or Sector SENE. This includes the U.S. Air Force, Air National Guard, U.S. Army, Army National Guard, U.S. Coast Guard, or U.S. Space Force. Next article is Rec Department plans July 4th events. The Recreation Department has planned several events leading up to and including July 4th celebrations. On Saturday, June 28th, the Moonlighters Band will perform a concert from 7 to 9 p.m. on the fields behind the Henry T. Wing School at 33 Water Street. Fireworks will follow the concert. This event is free to attend. However, parking will be limited, so carpooling to the event is encouraged. July 4th events begin with the 5K road race, which begins at 8 a.m. and starts and finishes on Morse Road behind the Wing School fields. Runners must be 13 years of age or older, unless accompanied by an adult. Prizes will be awarded for first place overall winners in the men's and women's categories only. Online registration is now open at www.sandwichrec.com through July 1st. Registration is also available during the pickup hours or on race day. Suggested donation is $20 for adults 14 plus and $10 for children 13 and under. Payment must be cash or check if not registering online. The Spirit of Sandwich July 4th parade steps off at 10:30 a.m. and it also starts and finishes on Morse Road behind the Wing School fields. Everyone, businesses, groups, organizations, antique cars, individuals, families, neighborhoods, and others, is invited to participate in the parade. All who wish to enter a float, group, antique car, or walking group must contact the Sandwich Recreation Department at 508-888-4361 to pre-register and receive further information. Vehicles that have not pre-registered by Tuesday, July 1st will not be allowed to participate. Awards will be given to the best parade floats in the following categories: Best Overall, Most Patriotic, My Hometown, and Most Creative. The annual Egg Toss and festive field events follows the parade at 11 a.m. Local DJ Stephanie Viva and local food trucks will join in the celebration. The day ends with a muster put on by the Sandwich Fire Department. To ensure the safety of all beach patrons, the Town Neck Beach and the Oak Crest Cove parking lots will be closed and locked July 3rd to 4th at 5 p.m. Last cars in at 3 p.m. All cars remaining in the lot will be towed at owner's expense. In the event of steady rain, the events on Saturday, June 28th, and Friday, July 4th, will be canceled. There will be no rain dates. Refer to the town's Facebook and Instagram at Sandwich Recreation or website at www.sandwichrec.com to check for event cancellations in the event of inclement weather. Our next article is Ciarhos urges action on move over law. Following the serious injury of a Massachusetts state trooper during a motor vehicle stop on the Mass Pike in Chicopee, Representative Stephen Ciarhos, R. Barnstable, on Wednesday renewed his call to pass legislation that would strengthen the state's move-over law and provide greater protections for first responders and roadway personnel. Yesterday's hit-and-run crash is a tragic reminder of the real danger faced every day by those who serve on our highways: police officers, firefighters, public works crews, and tow truck operators, Ciarhos said on a press release to the Enterprise. They work 24/7 to keep us safe. We owe them better. The trooper was seriously injured after being struck by a driver who failed to move over or slow down during a traffic stop. The incident has sparked renewed focus on House Bill 3816, legislation filed by Ciarhos and co-sponsored by Representative Jessica Giannino de Rivera, the daughter of a police officer. As a former police officer with 40 years of service, including 10 years as a deputy chief, and as the father and father-in-law of 2 active duty officers, I know firsthand how urgent this issue is, Ciarhos said. We must act before another tragedy occurs. House Bill 3816 would increase fines for violations, make third or subsequent offenses surchargeable for insurance purposes, require repeat offenders to complete a driver education program, and direct revenue from fines to support the Blue Star license plate program and establish a law enforcement memorial fund. Ciarhos is urging Massachusetts residents to contact their state representative and state senator to request their support and co-sponsor of HB 3816. Members of the public are also encouraged to submit written testimony in support of the bill to the Joint Committee on Transportation. Testimony can be emailed directly to Siobhan Morrissey at mahouse.gov. Our next article is Sandwich Man Arraigned Following Alleged Theft from Plymouth Schools by Amy Rothman. A man from Sandwich faces multiple charges following the alleged theft of Plymouth Public School property and food. According to officials, he was allegedly using the stolen goods to sell at a snack shack at Sandy Neck Beach, located in Barnstable. Patrick Van Cott, 62, of Sandwich, was arraigned on June 6th at Plymouth District Court on charges of larceny over $1,200 by a single scheme and larceny from a building. Prior to his arraignment, he was held on $50,000 bail and was ordered to stay away from Plymouth public school buildings and campuses. He pleaded not guilty at the arraignment. The Plymouth Police Department reported that an anonymous tip from within the school system initiated the investigation in Van Cott's activities within the school, where he served as Director of Food Services for the school system. The investigation was opened on May 30th, following a report from the school alleging criminal activity at the Plymouth Community Intermediate School. According to a statement released by the Plymouth Police Department, the letter alleged that a person had been stealing commercial equipment and food products from the school. The alleged stolen property is owned by the town of Plymouth and was paid for by the U.S. federal government. The statement notes that Van Cott was the sole person with authority to place orders for the cafeteria, and adds that Van Cott additionally operates the Snack Shack at Sandy Neck Beach in Barnstable. More so, the statement said, Van Cott's food orders consisted of premium Angus hamburgers, hot dogs, lobster meat, and other products that were not served to students or school staff. The Plymouth Police Department included a list of items that were purchased by Van Cott, but were not found at the school during the investigation. The following items were alleged to be taken by Van Cott: a refrigerated sandwich table worth $1,200, 2 frying pans worth $96, a $850 convection oven, a $1,700 under-counter freezer, a microwave worth $299, a $294 bagel warmer, and a $84 Cuisinart coffee maker. On June 4th, according to the statement, Plymouth police officers conducted a search of the Snack Shack at Sandy Neck Beach. The Plymouth Police Department reported finding a 28-foot industrialized-sized refrigerator, bins, government-issued food, a coffee maker, blackboards, and other items. Following the search, Van Cott was taken into police custody. The Plymouth Police Department reported that security footage revealed Van Cott taking 2 under-counter refrigerators from the school on April 4th, which were later loaded onto his truck. Other security footage provided by the Massachusetts State Police Fusion Center showed Van Cott's personal truck cross the bridge with a small refrigerator secured on the rear truck bed, according to the police statement. The investigation of the alleged events is ongoing by the Plymouth Police Department. The Sandwich Police Department reported no involvement in the investigation. Following news of Van Cott's arrest, Superintendent of Plymouth Public Schools, Chris Campbell, released a statement online to Facebook. In it, Campbell wrote, "We are grateful to the staff members who came forward with concerns and cooperated with law enforcement authorities throughout the investigative process." In the statement, the school system also noted its commitment to the community. Plymouth Public Schools remains committed to transparency, accountability, and the responsible stewardship of public resources. Most importantly, we remain focused on providing a safe, ethical, and supportive environment for our students, staff, and families, the statement read. Van Cott is scheduled to return to Plymouth District Court on July 21st. Obituaries. Donald F. Clark, Jr. Donald F. Clark, Jr. of Centerville, formerly of Sandwich, an Army veteran, died on June 9th. He was 77. Born in Plymouth to Margaret S. Mallinson and Donald F. Clark, Sr., he served in the U.S. Army from 1967 to 1969 during the Vietnam War. He was a longtime member of the American Legion Post 188 in Sandwich. He worked as an industrial maintenance mechanic for more than 35 years prior to his retirement. Residing on the Cape for the last 37 years, he enjoyed sitting along the Cape Cod Canal. He loved working in his yard and took pride in mowing perfectly straight lines, getting tattoos, and caring for his 2 cats, Molly and Oreo. He was also an avid Boston sports fan. He leaves his wife of 57 years, Jane Deckard Clark, children Tim Clark and his wife Lori of Yarmouth, Tracy Henry and her husband Anthony, and Tiffany Hersey and her husband Eric, all of Sandwich, siblings Dan Clark of Halifax and Sandra Roche, 7 grandchildren, 9 great-grandchildren, and several nieces and nephews. He was predeceased by a brother, James Clark. Visiting hours will be held up on Wednesday, June 18th from 10 a.m. to noon at Chapman Funerals and Cremations in Mashpee, with a memorial service following. Burial will be held later that day at 1:45 p.m. at the Massachusetts National Cemetery, Bourne. Robert S. Fusaro. Robert Stephen Fusaro of Sandwich died on June 4th. He was 67. Born in New Britain, Connecticut, to Mina and Ronald Fusaro, he grew up there and graduated from New Britain High School. He continued his studies at college and technical school, earning his computer programming degree. With more than 45 years in the IT industry, he worked for companies such as Worldwide Technology, Converge One, VMware, and EMC Technologies. Beyond his professional life, Fusaro was a passionate golfer and snow skier. He also loved going to the beach, moving to Town Neck in Sandwich in 2013. He leaves his wife of 44 years, Valerie Daigle Fusaro, his children, Catherine Freekar, and her husbands, Kevin and Elizabeth Fusaro, a brother, Michael Fusaro, 2 grandchildren, and many extended family members. He was predeceased by a brother, James Fusaro. A funeral mass will be celebrated on Friday, June 13th at 11 a.m. at Corpus Christi Catholic Church in East Sandwich. Other obituaries. Donald N. Anderson, 77, of Sagamore, died on June 5th. Carolyn L. Burgess, 96, of Falmouth, died on June 9th. Lois K. Burns, 64, of Falmouth, died on June 3rd. Marguerite L. Dalton, 83, of New Smyrna Beach, Florida, and North Falmouth, died on June 2nd. Joyce E. Fox, 78, of Bourne, died on June 7th. Maurice M. Gosselin, 75, of Pocasset, died on June 6th. James A. Graham, 64, of East Falmouth, died on May 2nd. Elias J. Leotisis, 78, of Falmouth, died on June 9th. Patrick R. Lyons, 78, of North Falmouth, died on June 2nd. Lucy F. Peters, 87, of Falmouth, died on June 6th. Burnett Plummer, 95, of Cotuit, died on June 4th. Mark T. Plante, 80, of Falmouth, died on June 4th. Anne P. Cleary, 93, of Falmouth, died on April 20th. Mary C. McGowan, 85, of Pocasset, died on June 10th. Nancy J. Rossum, 80, of Falmouth, died on June 6th. Felicity F. Winter, 89, of West Falmouth, died on June 5th. Arts, culture, and living. We'll start off with the Hydrangea Fest in Sandwich, which will be a colorful week-long celebration. Hydrangea season is here, and the Cape is bursting with the blues, lavenders, purples, and pinks of hydrangeas adorning yards and gardens wherever one looks. Due to its popularity last year, Sandwich Arts Alliance proudly announces the return of the Sandwich Arts Alliance Hydrangea Fest. 7 hydrangea-related events will take place in and around Sandwich Village for this week-long celebration. Saturday, July 12th through Saturday, July 19th, with tickets, reservations, and more information available at www.sandwichartsalliance.org. The events are listed below. Saturday, July 12th and Saturday, July 19th from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Mixed Media Flower Workshop led by Jackie Hawk. In this 2-hour class, enjoy the therapeutic process of creating a mixed media hydrangea using paper collage, markers, beads, buttons, and special personal objects. Tuesday, July 15th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. C.L. Fenari's Garden Tour. Step into a lush, vibrant oasis and embark on a captivating garden tour at the 2.5-acre property of two passionate plant enthusiasts. Wednesday, July 16th, with seatings at 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Dunbar House Hydrangea Tea Party. Enjoy an authentic hydrangea-themed English tea. Wednesday, July 16th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Blooming Artisan Fair. Visit Cape Cod artisans on site at Mill Creek Park. There will be plenty of demonstrations and a chance to purchase original pieces. Thursday, July 17th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Open Art Studio Tours. As part of the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce's Hydrangea and Arts Festival, 6 accomplished award-winning artists will open their private studios to the public. Thursday, July 17th, 6 to 9 p.m. Sunset Pond Party at Lakefield Farms Clubhouse, featuring Montillo's wood-fired pizza and other refreshments. Friday, July 18th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Jana Dillon's Garden Tour at the John Pope House overlooking the tidal Mill Creek Marsh. The flower gardens are planted in dense profusion of flowers, which creates an exuberant display of blooms. The Sandwich Arts Alliance Hydrangea Fest is a summer fundraising project supporting the vibrant cultural community in Sandwich and beyond. Tickets, reservations, and more information can be found at www.sandwichartsalliance.org. And then next, author Richard Russo will speak at Sandwich Town Hall. Titcomb's Bookshop will present Pulitzer Prize-winning author Richard Russo, who will speak about his new collection of essays, Life and Art, on Wednesday, June 18th at 6:30 p.m. at the Sandwich Town Hall Auditorium, 130 Main Street. Registration is required through the shop's website, https://event-content/event-with-Russo-life-and-art. A signed copy of Life and Art is included with each ticket. Books will also be sale at the event, and Russo will personalize them after his presentation. Life and Art. These are the twin subjects considered in Russo's 12 new essays. How they inform each other and how the stories we tell ourselves about both shape our understanding of the world around us. Russo is the author of 9 novels, most recently Somebody's Fool, Chances Are, Everybody's Fool, and That Old Cape Magic, 2 collections of stories, and the memoir Elsewhere. In 2002, he received the Pulitzer Prize for Empire Falls, which, along with Nobody's Fool, won multiple awards for its screen adaptation. In 2023, his novel Straight Man was adapted into the television series Lucky Hank. Registration is now open for Writers' Conference. Registration is open for the Cape Cod Writers Center's 62nd Summer Conference, which will take place this year at the Emerald Resort and Conference Center, 35 Scudder Avenue in Hyannis, July 31st through August 3rd. All writers over the age of 18, whether they're beginners or published, are invited to register for one or more of the 24 courses taught by 11 author teachers and 3 literary agents. Instructors include award-winning Hollywood producer Marilyn Atlas, best-selling author Stephen Manchester, award-winning mystery writer Jeanette de Beauvoir, Pushcart Prize-winning poet Sam Cha, and national communications coach Michael Hopner. On Saturday, August 2nd, Mindy Todd, host and producer of WCAI's The Point, will appear at the conference luncheon and speak about her years of experience behind the microphone. Among this year's literary offerings are classes on point of view, writing for healing, speculative fiction, riveting memoir, and the American sonnet. Conference participants can also register for practical courses on revision, plotting, writing effective queries, how to give a talk and pitching books to film and TV. Those who want their manuscripts individually critiqued may register for appointments during the conference with agents or faculty members. Conference participants will also hear faculty readings, participate in student readings, and attend informal networking and discussion sessions during the conference. The initial registration conference fee is $80 for non-members, which includes a free 1-year membership at the Writers Center. That fee is waived for current active members. The cost for 3 time classes for 2 hours a day is $180. A 2-time session for 2 hours a day is $140, and a 1-time session for 2 hours is $80. Mentoring sessions cost $180 for an hour's consultation with an agent or faculty member. Several scholarships are also available for those unable to afford the fees. Registration for the conference remains open until July 25th. Those who miss the deadline can still sign up for classes by appearing at the hotel on Thursday, July 31st between 2 and 4 p.m. To register, students can go to www.capecodwriterscenter.org for the conference post. Car Show is returning to Hyannis. The Greater Hyannis Chamber of Commerce's Father's Day Car Show will take place on June 15th from 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. in downtown Hyannis. Now in its 31st year, this event transforms Main Street in Hyannis into a sea of chrome, horsepower, and nostalgia as hundreds of classic, custom, and antique vehicles roll into town. Event highlights will include more than 350 vehicles from every era and style on display, including muscle cars, hot rods, antiques, trucks, and everything in between. Free admission, family-friendly activities, food vendors, local merchants and restaurants, and live entertainment, awards for Best in Show and People's Choice, and more. Main Street Hyannis will be closed to traffic for the duration of the event. Award-winning musician Jorma Kaukonen will play at the Spire. Grammy Award-winning guitar player and Rock and Roll Hall of Fame artist Jorma Kaukonen will perform on Friday, June 20th at the Spire Center for the Performing Arts in Plymouth. Start time is 8 p.m., doors open at 7. Kaukonen was at the forefront of popular rock and roll, one of the founders of the San Francisco Sound and a progenitor of psychedelic rock. He is a founding member of 2 legendary bands, Jefferson Airplane and the still touring Hot Tuna. In 2016, Kaukonen, Jack Cassidy, and the other members of Jefferson Airplane were awarded the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award for their contributions to American music. The Spire is at 25.5 Court Street in Plymouth. The venue is disabled accessible. Public parking is available street-side and in public lots near the venue. Horseshoe Crab Day activities are planned. The Cape Cod Museum of Natural History in Brewster will present a celebration of International Horseshoe Crab Day on Thursday, June 19th from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Fossil evidence confirms horseshoe crabs have been on Earth for at least 445 million years, more than 200 million years before dinosaurs. As a keystone species, horseshoe crabs play a crucial role in maintaining the health of coastal and marine ecosystems. Visitors to the museum on International Horseshoe Crab Day will learn about the horseshoe crab's amazing endurance, resilience, survival, and the connection to Wampanoag life, commercial fisheries, human health, and space travel. Well, that's all that I have time for. This is Shannon, your reader, wishing you a wonderful week and a happy Father's Day. Thank you.